Good. All right, so rainbow sweep. We do have a submission to go on the end of this one. Thomas being under 16, we don't focus on too much, but we are going to get him working on it today. Rainbow sweep is going to happen when someone sits up. It's an extremely powerful sweep, and it's one of our fundamental 3 sweeps. And we're going to have a series coming up, or look for the series, because I'm sure it's out already. 12 different ways to do a rainbow sweep. And then another one of the sweeps is called a scissor sweep, where we have 12 ways to do a scissor sweep. And then the other fundamental closed guard sweep is the flower sweep, and we have 12 ways to do the flower sweep. So those 3 sweeps, not only are they fundamental sweeps everyone should know, but because they're fundamental, they have a lot of variations. This one has a ton of really, really, really cool variations. So what we're looking for is someone has posture where they're sitting their weight back on their heels, but their head is up. It can work if I'm leaning forward a little bit, but that's going to be a little more challenging, and that will be addressed in those other videos. So for today, we're just going to do 2. My hands are on Thomas's chest, but he's got hand control or wrist control. He pops them out, and this is what he's looking for. My hands on the mat. Maybe my head was down, and I'm sitting up, and that's a common one. Hang on a little bit longer. Yes, and then sit up with me. There. Thomas is going to sit up, and he's going to hug my shoulder or my neck with his arm, or with his armpit. He grabs my elbow, and he's going to hug it in tight to his body. And I'm going to help out with that too. But hug a little harder. More. Yes, there. Just so that I don't put my hand on the floor and hurt my fingers or my wrist. Okay? So he hugs in tight. He lifts his hip up and turns over. Now, the submission that we do in the series here is a guillotine. So Thomas is going to wrap my head up. Because we don't have a gi on, he's just going to pinch. He's going to sit up just a little bit and put your hand between your stomach and my chest and then pin it there. And now put your hand on my shoulder. See how you're pushing off the floor here? Put it on my shoulder and now, there you go. Pushing my shoulder down as you lift my neck up pulls me into the choke. It's a really good one to do. If Thomas had a jacket, when he got on top, he'd bring his arm around, open the lapel of his jacket, grab it, and then you can go back to putting the hand on the chest, or sorry, on the shoulders, and then apply the pressure on the choke. For this one, I find it's very useful. Just get this hand as high as you can and use your body weight to pin it between you and your partner. I like this one a lot. Guillotine choke's a good choke, but I kind of fancy myself as a specialist in defending chokes and other submissions, so I find this one a fairly easy one to get out with. But if you push on my shoulder, it makes my life much harder. If you push on the floor, my defense is going to be much quicker. Okay. Other ways you might see this one done is if I have a more sports style posture, hand on the hip and hand on the chest, and my elbow is on his leg, not on the outside, not on the inside. If it's on the inside, we're doing that triangle we talked about. If it's on the center of his leg, that's a good time to do his rainbow. So he's going to open his hands, he's going to airplane to your right and then sit up left. Boom, there you go, and finish it off. Feet on the floor, boom. There you go. So we're not worried about the submission, but more the entrance. This airplane motion is going to help out a lot. And part of the reason why is you're hitting a good angle. Okay? If Thomas tries to sit up towards this hand, go ahead, he's going to get jammed right away. Even like try to roll up. Yeah, it's going to be hard. But if he airplanes off to my left and then he rolls onto my right, this hand gets pinched and caught inside. So not quite wrist locky, but almost. The next thing he's going to do is, because he's a lot lighter than me, he's using my structure as a way to sit up, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay? But that's wrong. That's a mistake, and that's going to crush you, especially if you're a bigger guy. So let's see if he can figure out what the challenge is. Boom. Yes, he's going to open his guard as he starts to sit up. Now, he's done a good job of collecting my elbow. He's got his leg is on the floor, and can we rotate this way? One of the things we have to watch out for is sometimes we put our toes on the floor. Really just want this one down, and then as this knee goes down, his hips come up, and that rolls over. But what happens, and I'm going to go through a couple of mistakes here, is when I sit up, and I'll just cut to the chase here. We're going to turn this way. If you watch my toes, sometimes people put their toes on the floor, and then someone rolls over their ankle, and it hurts my toes, and it hurts their back. It's uncomfortable. So we do not want these toes on the floor. That's going to hurt your own foot, and it's going to hurt their back. The other thing is, if you watch here, Thomas is just going to sit there, and I'm gonna try and sit up and hug him, okay? It's not so hard, but if I roll my way up, it's gonna be much easier. On top of that, I open my guard as I roll. So I don't want this. And that's what's gonna happen with a lot of beginners. You're gonna keep that guard closed too long. So when you're ready, you're gonna do your airplane and open your hip and push your chest to the side as you roll them over. So this rainbow, very, very powerful sweep. If you're a big guy and you can get the idea of unlocking those legs as you sit up, you're gonna be blasting people over you. If you're lighter, you're just like Thomas, he's just gonna be like a little spider monkey. He's just attached to you so tight that there's no shaking him off. And sometimes, I did mention that we might say that ideally we're looking for posture that's back and up a little bit. But if I'm here and Thomas just sits up over top and now sit up to your elbow. Yes, this is gonna be a common mistake of people doing it on their elbow, especially kids. We wanna be on our hand. But if I'm holding onto Thomas tight, do a big bridge. So foot on the floor, get that foot and push. Yes, if I'm holding on tight to him, it will be easier for him to do that sweep. So there is an occasion, if that elbow is on the floor, it's okay to do the rainbow sweep. Ideally, we want that hand because that gives us some height and allows us to push a little bit stronger with the leg. If I'm holding on to Thomas tight and our chests are connected, sitting onto the elbow might be enough to knock your partner over with this rainbow sweep, okay? It's a really good one. Like I said, look out for the series of the fundamental sweeps and all the variations of them inside. You're definitely gonna find a few that you like there. Have fun.